segment of Creative Spotlight. I'm Victoria and I am here with Danny Agnew, co-founder of the Roots Collective. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. So before we get into this, I'd just like you to tell us a little bit about you. So let us know who is Danny Agnew.
Yes, Danny Agnew. I am originally from Chicago, Illinois. I have been in Miami since 2013. I like to tell people, and I put it in my bio, I'm a two-time felon, GED graduate. I had an egregious past, but my transition here has been a positive one, and Miami has accepted me as an individual, and I am co-founder of an organization called the Roots Collective that's based out of Liberty City.
So tell us everything about your background and like where you came from. Coming to a new community, how were you feeling like being introduced to a community as Miami, especially the Black community of Miami?
Mm-hmm. So I honestly never felt indifferent.
Okay.
I feel like as Black people, we have a past throughout the entire world.
Yeah.
And so coming to Miami, it felt like it was home, but it was hot all the time. And so I was now in paradise with other Black people. And the beauty of it was that there are Caribbean folks here. Mm-hmm. There are people from all over the world. This is a transient location.
Right.
And so it's any given day, yes, you'll meet Miamians, but you'll also meet a Belizean, a Chicagoan, New Yorkers. And so it always felt like home for me, and I was excited when I came down here to just keep rolling.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I learned too, because I'm not from here, but living here. I felt the same. Like that's when I learned that like we are of a diaspora and we come from different countries, and we're really just all what you said. It is. It's so nice. So you have a business here in Miami, as you were saying before. So what makes you so driven to promote and support the Black community pertaining to businesses? Like why a business you feel is so important to have within the community?
Yeah. So I've always been in some form or fashion a hustler. And so even when I was in Chicago, my path wasn't necessarily in a revolutionary light, but I still was helping the people in my community. And so what was difficult for me is that I moved down to what I thought was paradise, and I saw people who were extremely poor. And that realization made me want to, one, start my own businesses, and then also create platforms to help Black people in this community. Because I've been to the Belize's, I've been to the Brazils, I've been to the Cubas, and everywhere you go, for some reason, Black people are always on the bottom. And it's not that we don't dislike white people. It's just that if we don't focus on our own, then we will.
Right, that's true. So, with stating that you having a Roots Collective, how much influence have you received, and like how much go-to have you received from starting a business? Because everyone wants to start their own business. So
right.
How do you encourage and like influence others to do the same?
Yeah, so I think we made it our mission to make sure that everything we started with our own muscle. So it's been a long journey. The first platform that we had was our clothing line. The reason why I created the Roots Clothing was because I didn't used to like to talk. And so I used my clothing to be my message to the people. And so nationwide, because we had a huge network, it was important for our messages to spread throughout the nation. And so from there, we started a printing company. The reason why I started a printing company because I was going to a white Jewish guy, and I'm like, if I'm gonna start my own clothing line, then I might as well be the one who's printing my own material. So we started Roots Printing. And so the people have seen our progress throughout the years, and it's been nothing but support. Nothing but support.
Nice. So creating Roots Collective in the Black House, which we're at right now, what was your idea for this location? Like, what did you see this place being?
Didn't have one.
No?
The real reason why the Black House was even created was because I was in a location. It was a one room, probably 200 square feet. It was super small, and I never wanted to open a retail location. The reason why it came about is because in my network, and the people who are in the Roots Collective, we needed a hub so that we could just sit, talk, build, all in one space. And so that's the first idea of the Black House. What it's transformed into now, literally every day, we get a new idea and we're able to make it happen because we have creatives surrounding us.
Right, nice. So as being a business owner who is Black, what do you feel is, in your opinion, what makes a Black business a successful or a fail?
Yeah, I think consistency, a vision, those are things that make business successful. But to be honest, it's very, very difficult starting a business because we don't have the necessary funding.
Right.
We don't have the know-how. There are a lot of people who have maybe been tarnished by other Black businesses, and it kind of makes people skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is when you are consistent and when you do have a vision and passion, people will support you, and oftentimes you can mess up. You won't win them all, but when people see what your mission is and see where you're trying to go and grow, and when you reinvest into your community, there's no way you can really fail as running a small business.
Right, invest in the community is
Mm-hmm.
that key point, I think, that allows other people to be open and willing
Mm-hmm.
to come back and to, shop here and be a part.
Absolutely.
So, you were stating before that the whole reason why you came to Florida was the Trayvon Martin trial and case. So, understanding that, we know that the youth is our future.
Yes.
So, what have you done recently to help them, understand that?
Yeah, so few platforms. So fortunately, the people who are inside of the Roots Collective, they every day deal with youth. So we have one person who's a teacher, we have another who works at a community center, and we always have an ecosystem of youth from the community who stop in here daily. And the important thing for us is we never wanted to preach to these children because they already know what poverty looks like. They already know what incarceration looks like. They already know what hunger looks like. And so what we've done is every day, probably about 3 or 4 after school, a group of kids come by. We let them play the game. We feed them. I know how to do Photoshop, so we teach them courses. They make their own shirts so they can go to school with their own designs. And in the next phase of our growth, we're getting ready to start a program after school hours, for youth to not just only come here, but they can also take something home with them. So knowledge is power always. And so we're setting up platforms right now so that we can really change youth lives rather than just letting them have a space to kick it.
Okay, cool. So when speaking on culture and art, as we see you have it here, how important is it for you to have that highlighted in businesses?
Yeah, I mean, we look at places like Wynwood and we get upset oftentimes because people of color are always the most creative. What tends to happen with gentrification is that they use the art of the people who are living there, they beautify the area, they kick the people who did the art out, and we're left in the dirt. And so with the Black House, it's important, every piece in this place was strategic in the sense that in the front, a young lady by the name of Naja did the artwork for the front of the Black House. Then when we scaled in, we had New Orleans artists do a lot of the art on these walls. We had a Nipsey Hussle visual, and this piece was created. All of these images are the beauty of Black is what we use our phrase as. And those are pictures that were taken at our Black marketplace that we host in Overtown, Opelika, and Little Haiti. And so it's always important to have art because when you have art surrounding you, it keeps the creativity flowing. And so every time I come in this place, I'm like, oh man, it's time to create something different.
Yeah.
So art is important for culture for sure.
Nice. And I know the events that you have too, you make sure that you hire local artists as well. So that's really nice.
Yes.
That you give them that platform as well.
Absolutely.
So ending the interview, what would you like to give awards to the wise who's going to be watching this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things that I can say, but the reality is that I would encourage folks to just live their dream. I think oftentimes we get really scared of all the things that could go wrong, and it stops us from actually making things happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sacrifices that we've taken for this thing to be successful, and we've lost some. We're winning more than we lost. But the reality is, if we didn't do it, I would feel more depressed about not trying and failing than just not doing anything at all. And so yeah, it's just sticking to your dreams. When you do have a passion, figure out how to be the best at it, and figure out how to be different. I think we model
being
a lot.
different is key.
Yeah, we model our businesses based on white capitalist structures.
Exactly.
And so if we just think about how, if we talk about from the start of slavery to now, if we really just think about how far we've gotten with all of that on our backs, there's literally nothing we can't create.
Exactly.
So stay focused, stick to your passion, and use the people, use the support that we have surrounding our community, and pretty much you'll be okay.
Nice. Well, thank you again, Danny, for joining Creative Magazine, for the spotlight. We really appreciate taking the time out with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to this segment of Creative Spotlight. Once again, I'm Victoria. Make sure you guys like, share, and comment, and subscribe to Creative Mag. Also, check out creativemag.com.